Treachery. Cold-blooded, spine-chilling treachery just rocked the foundations of WWE, and if you're not absolutely seething with rage right now, you clearly don't understand the magnitude of what just transpired. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf, the most dangerous member of the Bloodline's newest iteration, just launched a vicious, unprovoked assault on Drew McIntyre, and the ramifications of this heinous attack are going to ripple through WWE for years to come. We're talking about Drew McIntyre here, people. The Scottish warrior who clawed his way back from termination to become WWE champion. The man who sacrificed everything, who battled through injuries, who overcame every obstacle placed in his path. And now he's laid out in a pool of his own blood, courtesy of Jacob Fatu's savage brutality. This wasn't a wrestling match gone wrong. This wasn't two competitors settling differences in the ring. This was a mugging. A barbaric assault that belonged in a dark alley, not on WWE programming. And the worst part, this might have just derailed everything Drew McIntyre has been building toward. But before we expose every sickening detail of this cowardly attack, before we reveal the shocking connections that make this assault even more disturbing, I need you to take action right now. Obliterate that subscribe button like Jacob Fatu just obliterated Drew McIntyre's championship dreams. Demolish that notification bell because Ring Rumble 1 delivers the hardest-hitting wrestling analysis that pulls no punches and fears no consequences. We're not here to sugarcoat anything. We're not here to play corporate games. We're here to give you the raw, unfiltered truth that makes other channels terrified. So subscribe immediately, smash all notifications, and join the revolution that's changing wrestling commentary forever. Now let's dissect this catastrophe. Let's establish something critical before we dive into the carnage. Drew McIntyre is not just another wrestler on the roster. This is a man whose journey represents everything beautiful about perseverance, dedication, and refusing to accept defeat. Remember 2014, when WWE fired McIntyre and sent him packing with his dreams shattered and his confidence destroyed. Lesser men would have quit. Lesser men would have accepted that WWE wasn't in their future. But Drew McIntyre, he transformed himself into an absolute monster on the independent circuit. He became the most sought-after talent outside WWE, proving to everyone, especially himself, that he was championship material. His return to WWE wasn't just a comeback, it was a resurrection. He bulldozed through competition, captured the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 36 in an empty arena during a global pandemic, and became the face of WWE during its darkest period. This man carried the company on his massive shoulders when they needed him most. And through recent months, McIntyre has been on another meteoric rise. His performances have been phenomenal. His promos have been electric. His connection with the WWE Universe has reached unprecedented levels. Everything pointed toward McIntyre having another championship reign. Another WrestleMania moment, another chapter in his already legendary story. Then Jacob Fatu happened, and everything changed in the most violent way imaginable. Let me paint this horrific picture with every gruesome detail because you need to understand the severity of what transpired. Drew McIntyre was backstage, preparing for what should have been a routine segment. The cameras were rolling, capturing behind-the-scenes footage that fans love, showing the Scottish warrior in his element, focused, determined, ready to deliver excellence as he always does. Then, without warning, without provocation, without a single shred of justification, Jacob Fatu exploded onto the scene like a missile launched from hell itself. The initial attack, devastating, thundered against McIntyre's skull. Each kick crashed into his ribs. Each slam rattled his spine. And through it all, Fatu's face remained twisted in a mask of pure aggression. No remorse, no hesitation, just calculated violence. McIntyre, to his eternal credit, tried fighting back. The Scottish warrior's pride wouldn't allow him to go down without resistance. He threw haymakers that would have decapitated lesser opponents. He summoned every ounce of strength in his battle-tested body. But Fatu was relentless. Like a shark that's tasted blood, he just kept coming, kept attacking, kept destroying. Then came the moment that will be replayed on highlight reels and debated on social media for months, Jacob Fatu's devastating moonsault. Now, let that sink in for a second. Jacob Fatu weighs 300 pounds. This isn't some cruiserweight performing high-flying maneuvers, this is a giant who moves with the agility of someone half his size. And he used that freakish athleticism to deliver a moonsault onto Drew McIntyre that obliterated the Scottish warrior. The impact was catastrophic. McIntyre's body convulsed from the collision. The air exploded from his lungs. His eyes rolled back as consciousness fled from his battered frame. Medical personnel who witnessed it gasped in horror. Even Fatu looked momentarily shocked at the destruction he'd caused. But he wasn't finished. As if the moonsault wasn't enough, as if leaving McIntyre in a broken heap wasn't sufficient, Fatu delivered one final, devastating move that sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. The Samoan drop. But not just any Samoan drop, a sickening variation delivered with maximum force directly onto the unforgiving concrete floor. No mats, no padding, just Drew McIntyre's spine colliding with solid concrete at terminal velocity. The crack echoed like a gunshot. Medical staff sprinted to the scene. Wrestlers poured out of locker rooms in disbelief. And Jacob Fatu. He stood over McIntyre's motionless body, howling like the werewolf his nickname suggests, celebrating the carnage he'd just created. When EMTs finally reached McIntyre, the scene was heartbreaking. This proud warrior, this champion who's overcome everything WWE threw at him, lay unconscious on the floor. Blood trickling from his mouth. His chest barely rising with shallow breaths. His championship aspirations potentially shattered by one cowardly assault. The damage assessment came hours later, and it was devastating. Severe bruising, possible concussion, potential spinal trauma, multiple contusions. But the worst injury. The psychological damage of being attacked without cause, without warning, without mercy. Drew McIntyre's immediate future, uncertain. His championship opportunities, in jeopardy. His body, broken. All because Jacob Fatu decided to make a statement written in violence. This catastrophic event has ignited furious debate across the WWE universe, and these questions demand answers. First, what possible justification exists for this assault? McIntyre and Fatu haven't feuded. They haven't exchanged heated words. They haven't given any indication of animosity. So why? Why target Drew specifically? Why attack with such brutality? Why now? Second, is this bloodline orchestrated? Jacob Fatu's allegiance to the bloodline is well documented. Or will they recognize that this kind of shocking violence creates ratings and revenue? Here's where things get really interesting, and infuriating. A theory is circulating through wrestling communities that's gaining serious momentum, and honestly, it's terrifying in its implications. What if WWE wanted this to happen? What if management authorized Fatu to take out McIntyre because Drew was becoming too popular? Too unpredictable. Too willing to speak his mind and challenge authority. Think about it. McIntyre has been vocal about his frustrations. He's called out management decisions. He's questioned booking. He's become a voice for wrestler discontent. What better way to silence that voice than having the bloodline's most dangerous weapon eliminate him from the equation? I'm not saying this theory is true, but I'm absolutely saying it's worth investigating. The timing is too convenient. The brutality was too excessive. The lack of security was too suspicious. Here's the unvarnished truth that's making this situation even more tragic. Jacob Fatu just potentially ended one of WWE's most compelling storylines. Drew McIntyre was building towards something special. Whether it was another championship run, a WrestleMania main event, or finally achieving the recognition he deserves in front of a packed stadium, all of that might be gone now. One attack, one cowardly assault, and years of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication could be erased. Meanwhile, Fatu. He's now the most talked about wrestler in the industry. Every website is covering this. Every podcast is analyzing it. Every fan is debating it. He's achieved infamy through violence, and whether we like it or not, that's going to elevate his profile. But here's what Jacob Fatu doesn't understand. Drew McIntyre is not someone who stays down. This is a warrior who came back from termination to become champion. Who battled through injuries that would have retired lesser men. Who refused to let anything keep him from his dreams. This attack, it's only going to fuel McIntyre's fire. When he recovers, and he will recover, the retribution he delivers will be biblical. The Samoan werewolf just woke up the Scottish warrior, and that's going to be his biggest mistake. This assault has completely rewritten WWE's trajectory. Storylines that were months in development just got demolished. Championship pictures just got scrambled. WrestleMania plans just got thrown into chaos. And the terrifying part, if the Bloodline, through Jacob Fatu, can take out someone of Mcintyre's caliber this easily, who else is on their hit list? Who's next on their path of destruction? This heinous attack represents everything wrong with unchecked aggression in WWE. Jacob Fatu crossed every line, violated every code, and potentially destroyed a man's career for what? Attention. Notoriety. Bloodline orders. Drew McIntyre deserved better. The WWE Universe deserved better. Professional wrestling deserved better. Now I want your voice heard. Are you outraged by Fatu's actions? Do you believe there's a conspiracy? When McIntyre returns, what punishment should he deliver? Explode in the comments below and let your opinion be heard. And if you haven't subscribed to Ring Rumble 1 yet, you're missing the most controversial, most honest wrestling content on this platform. Subscribe now and join the movement that's changing the game. This war has only just begun.